Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the propagation of sound, or we can say the movement of sound from the source to the receiver or the detector or human ear, right? Now, as we have already discussed in the first lecture that sound travels through a medium. I gave you a hint, right? So, sound requires a medium in order to travel from one point to other point. Now, what are the mediums? The mediums can be three types, that is solid, liquid, and gas. So these are the three mediums where the sound can travel from the source to the receiver, right? So how does the sound travel through these mediums, that is sound, liquid, solid, liquid and gas? Okay, so let's see. For example, if I tell you there is a source, okay, and that source is providing the sound, and medium is full of particles just like solid, liquid and gas. So medium is composed of particles, right? So those particles, they will get the energy, sound energy, and they will vibrate to and fro rapidly. And when they do so, of course in microscopic level, because when we say particles, particles are nothing but microscopic components of the medium. So the particles, for example, if we talk about gas, that is air. So in air, the particles are molecules of air, okay. So those molecules vibrate to and fro rapidly and they carry the sound energy. Now when they do so, actually the particles are so closely compact, okay, in any medium. In solid they are more closely compact, in liquid loosely, and gas they are little bit, the distance between the particles are more. So when the particles they vibrate to and fro rapidly, the particles they transfer energy after colliding with the adjacent particles. So in that way you can say from the source, okay, from the source, the energy is, or the sound energy is propagating or moving from one point to another point. So the actual reason behind the movement or the propagation of the sound energy is the particles in the air or the liquid or the solid. The particles they vibrate, and when they vibrate to and fro means either horizontally or vertically, okay. When they vibrate, they disturb or they collide with other particles or adjacent particles. In that way they give energy to the adjacent particles and they become again neutral and they stop moving, okay, once the sound energy or the source of the sound has stopped giving the energy. And the other adjacent particle which received the energy after collision, they will again vibrate to and fro either horizontally or vertically, and this way the other adjacent particles are disturbed and the energy is conveyed or given to the adjacent particles. So this way the energy travels further, okay. Now of course the medium is composed of particles. So each and every direction the sound travels, because the medium is composed of particles and particles are everywhere in the medium. So all the particles in the medium start vibrating, and the particles will convey the energy to each and every direction, that is in three-dimensional space, okay. So that is three-dimensional, means voluminous, each and every direction, okay. So from one point to other point in a medium, the sound energy is conveyed or transmitted using the particles. Now over here we need to keep in mind that, as I have already mentioned, the particles they don't move, the particles they vibrate either horizontally or vertically and they disturb the adjacent particles, okay. So when they disturb, they convey the energy or they give the energy or they transmit the energy to the adjacent particles, and this way the sound gets transmitted from one point to other point. Now my point is, the medium can be solid, liquid or gas, any medium, okay. More the particles, better the sound travels, right. Now one more thing, if the sound requires a medium, because medium is composed of particles, if the sound requires a medium, then we can say sound is a mechanical wave. Why I said wave? Because the energy carried forward in each and every direction is nothing but wave, because as we said, or as I have already mentioned, the disturbance, the particles disturb the adjacent particles. So the disturbance they travel, not the particles. So the transmission of the disturbance from one point of a medium to another point of medium is nothing but a wave. That is the definition of wave. And since the sound requires a medium, okay, sound requires a medium, we call it that sound is a mechanical wave. So a mechanical wave travels in each and every direction from the source of the sound. Is that clear? So sound is nothing but a mechanical wave which requires a medium, of course, and it is transmitted to each and every point of the medium from the source, okay, depending upon the intensity of the vibration, or depending upon the intensity of the amount of energy, right? So here is the text for you. So sound is a mechanical wave that results from the back and forth vibration, that is to and fro vibration of the particles of the medium through which the sound wave is moving. The disturbance created by a source of sound in the medium travels through the medium and not the particles through the medium. As I said, the particles, they disturb each other. When the particle receives the energy in a medium from the source, they disturb the adjacent particles, okay, and when they disturb, I mean they give the energy to the adjacent particles and they become neutral. When they become neutral, they remain in their neutral position, okay, or mean position. And afterwards, the adjacent particles which got disturbed or which got the energy, they disturb their adjacent particles. So in that way, in each and every direction, the sound wave travels. I hope you got that right. So sound is basically nothing but a mechanical wave that results from the back and forth vibration, that is to and fro vibration of the particles of the medium through which the sound wave is moving, okay. And of course, the medium doesn't move, that is the particles, they don't move, the energy or the disturbance moves, okay. That is why we call it a wave, because disturbance in motion or disturbance transmitted from one point to another point is nothing but a wave, right. I hope you got that. Now let us see one example and let me clear the concept that how the particles they move, or how the particles they vibrate to and fro, and how they transfer the disturbance or the energy from one point to other point in each and every direction. So here is one example for you. Now as you can see over here, that is a tuning fork, okay, tuning fork which is used in the laboratory experimentally to show how it vibrates and how the energy or the sound travels, right. Now as you can see in the first case over here, first case, the tuning fork is at rest, it is not disturbed. Now we disturb the tuning fork. So when the tuning fork is disturbed, the air medium which is in contact or in touch with the one of the prongs of the tuning fork, okay, that tuning fork's prong suppresses or compresses, you can say, okay, compresses that part of the medium over here. As you can see, the part of the medium which is near the prong of the tuning fork or in contact with the tuning fork, that part of the medium gets compressed because of the movement of the prong this side, okay, to we call it, and when it moves back, fro, to and fro. So during the to motion, the compression of the medium occurs, and again that compression is moving forward, as you can see. Now when it again comes back to, that is fro, okay, fro, the medium becomes, I mean the spacious medium, the medium is decompressed now. So compression, decompression we call it, okay, compression and decompression. So over here, as you can see, the tuning forks, I mean the prongs of the tuning fork is still vibrating to and fro. So that causes the compression and decompression of air, or you can say compression and decompression of the particles in a medium, okay, that is in a medium. So that way you can see that in the third case over here, third case, as you can see, the compression is moving forward. Again the prong moves back, I mean moves to, having to motion and fro motion, to motion and fro motion. So while doing so, there is a gap created, that is first it is, I mean you can see over here, first compression, then decompression, then compression again decompression. So that way the energy is moved forward, or that way the energy is transmitted forward. So here let me show you another picture so that it will be clearer to you. So here, as you can see, previously this is the air at equilibrium, okay, this is the air at equilibrium when the prongs of the tuning fork is at rest, okay. the air is at equilibrium, means the particles are equally spaced. Now when the prong is moving, or the prongs of the tuning fork is moving to and fro, as you can see over here, the parts of the medium over here, right, denser, I mean compression, then decompression over here, loosely packed, again closely packed, loosely packed, closely packed. So this way the sound is moving for the, I mean moving further in the forward direction. Okay, I hope that is clear to you. Now the sound is a mechanical wave which we have already seen, or which we have already studied. Now if the sound is a mechanical wave, the particles, they vibrate and the disturbance is carried forward. So this is the disturbance which I was telling you, that is they move in the form of, I mean compression and decompression. So in science we call it as rarefaction. In science we call it as rarefaction. The decompression is called as rarefaction. So the compression and rarefaction, the sound energy or the sound wave travels in the form of rarefaction and compression, where the density of the wave is, I mean the particles is more, it is called as compression. Okay, and where the density is less, it is called as rarefaction. Okay, what is that? Compression and rarefaction. Compression where the density would be more because of the motion of the prong of the tuning fork forward, compression, and when the tuning fork moves back to and fro, I mean the fro motion, that time rarefaction. Okay, that time rarefaction, that is decompression we call it. Okay, so compression and rarefaction, in terms of compression and rarefaction, compression where the density of the particles would be more because of the forward motion of the prong of the tuning fork, and rarefaction because of the backward movement of the tuning fork. Okay, I hope you got that. Now let's see what is compression and rarefaction in detail. Okay, so as I have mentioned that when the prongs of the tuning fork, they vibrate to and fro, two types of densities or density of the medium are changed, that is either the density would be high or density would be low because of the to and fro motion of the prongs of the tuning fork. So when the density is high, okay, as compared to the natural or original density of air medium, okay, that particular thing is called as compression. So when a vibrating object moves forward, it pushes and compresses the air in front of it, creating a region of high pressure, or you can say high density. Okay, this region is called as compression. Okay, and of course the pressure increases because the density of the particles in that region is more. That's why we call it region of high pressure. And compression is the part of the wave in which the particles of the medium are closer to one another, forming the region of high pressure and density. Because the density is high, means number of particles would be more. That's why we call it region of high pressure and density. I hope you got that right. Now let's see for rarefaction. So rarefaction, when the vibrating object moves backward, it creates a region of low pressure called rarefaction. Okay, rarefaction is a part of the wave where particles spread out to form a region of low pressure and density. Low pressure and density, as I said, when the prong of the tuning fork moves backward, okay, it creates a region of lesser density, that is the particles are separated more, okay, or the particles are moving away from each other. So the density of the particles would be less, and the pressure in that region of the due to the particles would also be less. I hope you got that right. So the sound wave travels in the form of compression and rarefaction due to the to and fro motion of the source of the sound energy, or the, you can say in our case, tuning fork, which moves to and fro and makes or forms the high density region of air and low density region of air. So in the form of low density region of air and high density region of air, the sound energy travels in all directions. I hope you got that right. So that was all about propagation of sound, that is in form of, or in the form of, compression and rarefaction. I hope you understood. Thank you.